What's going on, everybody? Coach Stefan here. I'm with one of our clients, Hailey. She's been in our program like very shy of 30 days, and she was gracious enough to jump on the call. And I like to do interviews with people that are just different lengths of term in our program. Some people are a few weeks in, which I know seems really soon. Some people are a month in, because for you guys watching, you probably want to know, what can I expect in the first month? We do follow-ups for people that have been in a year, 2 years, everything in between, because I don't want to just be the person that's hitting the epic transformations. Like, what is it like being in our program? So, Hailey, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself, give people a little background so they have some context, and then we'll dive right in.
Okay. Yeah, my name's Hailey Devine. I am 26 years old, firefighter here in California, and like you said, I've been in this program just about a month.
Yeah. So, when you first joined the program, what were some things you were looking for as far as like training, guidance, nutrition? Like, what kind of prompted you to even explore this option in the first place?
For me, I was at kind of a plateau, if you will, and kind of staying where I was. I was kept gaining weight. I was working out. I was eating what I thought was what I was supposed to be eating, and nothing was really changing. I've been working out for a few years of my life, and finally just kind of jumped into it. Saw you guys on Instagram and was wanting just a little bit more guidance on, like, I'm working out, I'm eating, whatnot, but obviously I was missing a piece of the puzzle somewhere, and was just tired of being stuck in kind of that limbo of not getting to where my goals where I wanted to be, and thankfully found you guys.
Yeah. So how long were you stuck at that plateau? Because I know, to give you guys some context, she's working out like 5+ days a week, like training hard. Again, like trying to eat healthy. There was a ton of effort there, which is great. And that, I'll honestly, a lot of our clients, you were probably on a little bit of the higher echelon in a good way, where you're like
Hmm.
really going to the gym a lot. But that happens actually frequently, where people are going and they're like, I don't know what's missing. If I knew, I'd be there.
Right.
But like, how long do you think you were at a plateau?
I was probably in a plateau for a good like 3 to 4 years, probably. I'd say three, but on the high end of it, probably four.
Yeah. So that's a very long time. 1 month in, what has your progress been?
Down 11 pounds and a pant size so far.
Yeah. So, and I remember when we were chatting, like, before we hit record, there's a little skepticism, right? You're at a plateau for three
Mhm.
or 4 years and you're doing some stuff and you're beating your head against the wall a little bit, or even if you're at a plateau for a couple months, it's
Yeah.
hard when somebody's like, oh no, we'll help you. You're like, yeah, sure. Um, and again, that's why we do these, because like science is science, and that's kind of what we told you. Like, it's not that the effort's not there, but we
Hmm.
have to balance. And I'm sure Josh told you, the recovery with the training and the nutrition. Like, it's all a very symbiotic, beautiful relationship. And honestly, unfortunately, the human body's like this. If one component's missing, it's hard because we're frustrated, right? Like,
Yeah.
it should happen. And I'm like, it's not a you thing, Hailey, right? And we have the discussion, like, it's not you being lazy. It's not you not taking action. Sometimes it's you're just not doing the right thing. You're like, I only know
Right.
that I know. Um, what do you think your biggest struggles were before joining the program?
Before joining the program, I would say nutrition was one of the harder ones. I would do good for 3 4 weeks, and then I was lacking a little bit of that consistency with the eating. I like I said, I was doing good for a month, and then I'd kind of die off and not track it as well, and then I'd go back and forth. So nutrition was a big one, and I think definitely prioritizing like the recovery side of things. I was just head forward, work out every
Yeah.
day, doesn't matter how long. So being on the program, it's definitely had me kind of a little bit more focused on the recovery days, and like take time to let my body recover and adjust to everything that's kind of going on. So I think those two things, recovery and nutrition, were definitely one of the ones that I struggled with the most.
Yeah. And I mean, I know you're only a month in, but how have
Mhm.
those helped solve that issue?
It's been great. I have my one rest day, and my coach Josh is fine with me working out, but he definitely strongly encourages like maybe just go on a walk, do something like light, recovery type stuff, and enjoy your rest period. You don't have to be going, 100 miles an hour
Yeah.
every day, 24/7.
And I think some of that is the fear of like, but if I won't work out, I'll get more out
Yes.
of shape, right? It's not, and like, I like to train every day, but
Yeah.
it's hard to buy into the process. Very totally understand this, where it's like,
Hmm.
okay, so work out less to think better results. Like
Yeah.
doesn't add up.
Right.
But like just now you've learned a little bit and got a little more
Mhm.
educated, right?
Yes.
And that's a big thing we want to do. So you mentioned something too about like you struggled with nutrition and honestly staying consistent. Do you think that having a coach there and accountability has helped solve that?
For sure. Having that accountability part the portion of it has been amazing. Like I know somebody's like he's obviously he's checking it every week and whatnot, but just having that kind of accountability to where um for me it's like if I'm not doing this with a coach or anything, it's like, well, yeah, I could slack off if I wanted to, but at the same time with the program, I'm buying into the program, and the only way I'm going to get my goals and my results is if I stick true to it and track everything and be honest with it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like, part of that is the investment, right? Like,
Hmm.
our program's not cheap. We're having people come in and invest, but I told you too, I'm like, but there's a shift, right?
Yeah.
Before when you're like, I don't have to enter it. But then you have a coach and then you're paying towards a program. It's called skin in the game. And it's the same thing. I've invested in fitness coaches and business coaches and all that stuff. It's different.
Right.
When you have no skin in the game, people just work like that. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that the accountability, the education, all those things have been there. I guess another question I would have is like what fears or kind of hesitations did you have before joining the program? Because you actually worked with some other online coaches. By the way,
Hmm.
those of you listening, the majority of our clients have never, 90%
Okay.
and above, have never worked with an online coach, which there's
Hmm.
the fear there of like, will online work for me?
Right.
Maybe even some more hesitation, I'm guessing, and you could walk us through that because you did work with an online coach, but it,
Mhm.
you know, didn't really ultimately solve the problem. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, so I think it was 2022 is when I signed up for my first online coach. He was a local guy around here. But signed up with him, and really nice guy. I mean, from what we talked about, we kind of did like an onboarding process like we did on the first time,
Mhm.
and seemed to understand my goals. Like I was super hesitant about I didn't want to lose my strength. That was my biggest fear being in my line of career and stuff like that. Like strength was the one thing I always had. Cardio was kind of like not my greatest portion of stuff, but I always had the strength. So for him, when I went into it, was like, I don't want to lose my strength. I understand we've got to cut down, I've got to lose the fat and stuff like that, but whatever we can do to try to keep my strength as best I can. So we go through, it was a couple months in and stuff, and I was losing the weight and whatnot, but I don't think he fully understood what I was getting at or what I was kind of going through,
Mhm.
because I probably dropped a good, you know, 15, almost 20 pounds. But with that, my strength completely tanked. I'm squatting 225, and by the time I was done with him, I probably could barely get one for 185.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
And
that was my fear.
how long was that time period you lost the weight?
I think it was right around 8 or 9 months.
Okay.
8 or 9 months. And so that was my fear coming into here again, was like, I don't want to lose my strength. I know it's gonna, things are gonna change, especially losing body fat and stuff like that. But whatever we can do to kind of like not lose that again. That was my biggest fear more than anything.
Okay. Well, 30 days in, you lost 11 pounds, which is like half of what you did in 9 months. Do you feel like you're getting weaker?
No, I'm actually looking at my numbers. I was talking with Coach Josh and stuff. I'm actually getting stronger. I'm actually still continuing to build muscle and build my strength while losing that body fat.
Yeah. And so when we tell you guys, hey, we're going to help you burn fat, build muscle, increase performance at the same time, relatively, right?
Yes.
Not like we mean it. And here's the
Yeah.
thing, too. We don't want you getting weaker, right?
Right.
Like some people, if they have a big weight loss goal, they're like, hey, I'm pretty strong. I'm okay here. I really just want to focus on weight loss. Great. We
Yeah.
definitely don't want you getting weaker. Maybe we can
Right.
maintain strength. But for a lot of our clients, it is a very fine thing. And here's the thing. Let's just say Haley's going in the wrong direction. And there's a couple weeks that she's like, hey, I'm getting weaker. Okay, let's stop,
Mm-hmm.
reassess, adjust. And
Yeah.
so nothing against your online coach, but with a lot of these coaches, they just throw out a program and then,
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot of like collaboration and feedback and like, hey, how you feeling? How was this? And so things get to just run their course, which kind of is what,
Right.
like, hey, I'm getting weaker. He's like, no, no, you're good. You're like, no, I'm not. Right. Um, how is just like the overall experience just with the communication, the customer service, obviously being able to collaborate with your coach, and not that we're crapping on the other guy, but just comparatively to the other online program you did.
Yeah, this has been by far 10 times easier. Communication wise, like I said, if I had a couple days at the station where I didn't have some of the equipment, so I'd shoot him a message really quick and like, hey, what's the best substitute for this exercise, this exercise? Um, he's always checking in I mean, even not even on our weekly check-ins and stuff like that, but always checking in, looking at my workouts, filling everything out, especially with your guys' app and stuff. I had to hand track everything with my last coach, like on a PDF, an old PDF. So like typing everything in and like doing the math myself and stuff like that. So this has been like 10 times easier, takes way less stress off my plate. And number one, communication is 10 out of 10. It's been
Yeah.
easy.
Awesome. And I told you that'd be a game changer, right? I'm like, when
Yes.
you're like,
Yeah.
I did the PDFs, I'm like, oh man, no wonder online coaching was struggle. And I did that, way long ago when that was like the
Right.
2015 thing, like we chatted about. And yeah, the app's easy. And I tell people
Mhm.
too, like, I don't like to get into semantics, like, oh, what is your app look? I'm like, it works. Don't overthink it. Like it works, I promise you. And I
Right.
picked one that was easy to use. You're not like, oh, it takes me, 5 weeks to get ramped up. Like, no, within a couple days, you track the thing, everything is right there, which
Yeah.
makes it pretty easy. So I guess my last question would be, obviously we work with a ton of firefighters.
Hmm.
You've seen so far 30 days into the program or community, it's not just you that is winning, right? Every
Hmm.
Wednesday we're posting the transformations and stuff, and I got to share the live community with you before you join. What would you say to somebody that is maybe on the fence or in the position that you were in? Because ideally, like somebody's watching this that's in kind of the same spot you were in 30 days ago.
Yeah. I would say if somebody's on the fence about it, about this program, I would say one, make sure this is 100% what you want to do. Like you said, it's a full-on investment, but if this is something that you're dead set on, this is what you want to do, it's a game changer. It's 100% worth it. And not only do you're hitting the goals that you're wanting to get, but the training and the guidance and everything, I'm looking forward to it as like, this is going to take me, the rest of my life type thing. It's not
Mhm.
just for a here and now. It's like learning all these things, these new techniques, this guidance, the communication, and the training on top of it all. Um, it changes your life, to be honest. I mean, I know I'm only, a month in and stuff like that, but just what I've learned so far in the short month, it's 100% worth it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. And you hit the nail on the head. Like there's two paths we can take, and I believe this for this community. There's the path where and I know it's hard because we're all, you guys are hard workers, high achievers. We're a little sometimes our ego blocks our way. And it's like a
Hmm.
good thing. It's a double-edged sword, right? It's like a
Yeah.
good thing because it makes us the high achieving people we are, but sometimes it is hard to just like be a sponge and lay down and get help.
Yeah.
It's like you only know so much. And it's not that you're incapable of doing the research.
Hmm.
It's not that you're dumb. It's not that you're lazy. And I tell people coaching collapses time. So it's
Yeah.
like whatever you would have learned, you're like a month in, oh my God,
Mhm.
so much. Yes, but like how long would this have taken you on your own? Well, you
Right.
were there for 3 years. And
Yeah.
like I told you that, I'm
Exactly.
like, we're just going to give you all the information. And you're like, hey, coach, what do I do? Now, the
Hmm.
difference is it's not just the barking orders. There's an explanation of the why behind things, right?
Right.
On most
Right.
things we do. So you're like, oh, okay, light bulb click. And
Yeah.
that's the learning. And so I really do believe, and we've shown time and time again, that a program really is a transformational program. And the reason we say that is the transformation is the identity shift of Hailey being like, yes, I'm a hard worker, but like I don't know these things and I'm a little lost and I'm kind of lacking some confidence. And the shift
Hmm.
is, no, I know my shit and I know what to
Yeah.
do. And if people ask me at work, like I could tell them I've done it. I've been put in these situations where I didn't know how to adjust my nutrition or I didn't know what substitutes.
Right.
But we just take you through that rep, 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 rep. It's like
Hmm.
OJT at work. Yeah, the first week is like not fun.
Yeah.
But after so many reps and you rise up the rank and you become a leader, now you're teaching the young people, right? And
Right.
so it's kind of the same thing. And the two paths are like you get there in 6 months, a year,
Hmm.
and ideally you're good to go.
Yeah.
Or the other thing is you kind of have this like roller coaster. And I don't want that for you guys because I
Hmm.
truly believe that if you can really just be like, hey, I'm all in on this, then it does set you up. And
Yeah.
you're a month in and you're breaking past results that you were stuck at for 3 to 4 years, which is probably a big sigh of relief,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
And I know, before this, you're like, hey, I'm all in. Like I
Hmm.
was a little get scared of like, okay, man, let's see what you can do. But now that you're in and you're making results and we're doing what you wanted, right? Body
Hmm.
fat's
Yeah.
going down, performance is actually increasing,
Yeah.
right? And I'm sure there's
Yep.
some muscle being built too.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so that's awesome. You're crushing it. And hats off to you because like you're putting in the work. You're super diligent. I know that you don't make progress like that besides being a complete badass and coming in and listening to your coach and doing your stuff. And the other thing is you mentioned, hey, if this is something you're 100% in on, yes. And that's why we do kind of that like interview process and chat on Zoom
Right.
because I want to make sure you're both feet in. Because if you are, we will crush it with you.
Hmm.
But you got to be in, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I'm hoping that stuff like this gets people to be in because I think the one thing that pushes people back is just fear, which is
Here.
very
Hmm.
normal, which is
For
like,
sure.
will this work for me? Are these people legit? Will I get results? And so I'm like, man, we're just going to stack the proof of like, we've
Yep.
created a system and there's guys like between all of our coaches, there's like 40 years of training experience. This isn't a
Right.
new thing for us.
Hmm.
So I bring in coaches that have either been through our program, like Josh, and
Yep.
done it and literally ate the chicken soup, or people that are very high level coaches. And the way we coach as a team is obviously proven to get you and 1,000 plus other people results. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate you jumping on.
Yeah.
I'm
No
I'm
problem.
freaking pumped. If like you're here 30 days, like man, let's see where you are in like 3 more months, 6 more months.
I know.
Excited
I
for it.
know.
Yeah, you're gonna crush it. So thanks for jumping on,
Yeah.
and
No
this
problem.
was super helpful.
For
So,
sure. Thank you.
thanks, Hailey.
Appreciate it.